Welcome to EPG Pathshala. My name is Dr. Neeraj Agarwal and I am Assistant Professor in University, Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management, Punjab University, Chandigarh. I am presenting lecture on module titled Bar Licenses and Legal Requirements under the paper titled Food and Beverage Service Operations and Management. The After going through this module, the learner will be familiar with the following: different types of bar, various types of alcoholic beverages, and different type of licenses. Firstly, I will discuss about the introduction. Bar and beverage operations have long served the public by providing place where those who enjoy alcoholic beverages can go and be served. These are the bars that serve as center for social activities and entertainment and also supplement a range of dining services. Classifying bar and beverage operation is not an easy task because there can be so many combinations of features and so much overlaps among the various types. These are upscale bars, downscale bars, and many types within and at each end of the range. These are bars that serve beverages with some snacks such as peanuts, wafers, etc. In the food and beverage operation, the alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages plays the vital role. Alcoholic beverages demand, particularly wine, is changing and growing nowadays. To fulfill its demand, there are various types of bar in the market which sells the alcoholic beverages to the public to consume on the premises. It means that bars are involved in the sale of alcoholic beverage. However, their main concern is to sell and consume the beverages on the premises. Now, I will discuss about types of bar and beverage operations. There are different kinds of bars operated by the hotel or outside the hotel, which are termed as stand-alone bars. The classification of the bar and beverage operation is not an easy task as other food and beverage outlets because there can be so many blends of features. Some bars are attached with restaurants, some are associated with lobby, lounges, etc. So, a broad classification is one using the grouping bars and lounges. There are a lot of differences among the operations in each of these broad categories. However, from the above stated discussion, it is surely recommended that bar and lounges, both terms are interrelated and their primary focus is on selling of alcoholic beverages to the public on premises. There are bars that serve beverages only with some offerings like light snacks such as wafers, peanuts, finger chips, etc. However, some serve a limited food menu with beverages as their primary offering. There are public bars, cocktail bars, airport bar, piano bar, sports bar, wine bar, service bar, portable bar or mobile bar, recreational bars, in-room or mini bars, etc. The term bar and beverage operation is to include all possible combinations of establishment serving alcoholic beverages. It simply means that one operation is not a bar and beverage operation, it is either a bar or it is a beverage operation. In other words, lounge, bar and beverage operations are defined by their goals and the type of clientele they serve. Some different types of bars are: the first one is cocktail bar. The concept of cocktail bar gives a heavy push to bar industry in terms of modernization. The main focus and specialty of this bar is to serve various kinds of cocktails. However, the bar is fully equipped with different sort of alcoholic beverages which includes whiskey, vodka, rum, gin, tequila, liqueurs, etc. This kind of specialty bar is mostly seen at luxury hotels, airport, cruises, casinos, etc. The second is wine bar. In this era of modernization, a new concept introduced by hotels which is becoming very popular among wine connoisseurs and affluent people. These bars sell various kinds of wine of different countries, regions, and various grape varieties. Usually, these bars serve most expensive wines. The menu is fully designed with various varieties of wines. However, different parameters like localization of product, food and wine combination, most selling brands, customer preferences, etc. need to keep in mind while designing the wine list of the bar. Moreover, the customer can choose wines on the basis of glass or full bottle. It ranges from country wine to most expensive wines. Cheese and food platters, various classic hors d'oeuvres, and even full menu can be served along with the drinks. There are inherent problems in running wine bars. The first is, of course, that serving only wine tends to limit the clientele to wine lovers. Some urban areas have enough wine enthusiasts to support a profitable enterprise. They respond to quality and expertise, and they attend and appreciate special wine tasting classes and wine cantered celebrations. The third is sports bar. This specialty bar offers a various types of entertainment, specially catered to sports fan and contains several televisions and often sports memorabilia. Further, the definition stated that the bar or tavern featuring various LED screens for viewing supporting events is known as sports bar. The specialty of the bar is to serve fresh draught beers of different varieties. The bar is having full forte of alcoholic beverages as well. This kind of bar often sets a fixed price or cover charge to guarantee a good profit because customer turnover is so small. Fourth, pub. The concept of pubs is originated from Britain where they usually serve beers in the outlet. The main focus of pub is to serve all kind of beers along with other alcoholic beverages. These outlets run light music and there is no concept of dance floor in pubs. To market their products, most of the pubs were once owned by breweries. Further, they are promoted by other business promoters. It is notified that originally they were owned by breweries to sell their beers in India. Cities like Bangalore and Mumbai have some of the finest pubs. Fifth, nights club. These types of bar operates during the nights and offers dinner, dance, entertainment, which is the best suites bar in this category. Live shows are the main attraction of nightclubs. Couples can dance on dance floors to music performed by live bands or to recorded music. Dinner and wines are served at the table and guests can have their meal while enjoying the show. In India, some metro cities have nightclubs. However, in some states it is not permitted. Further, discotheque operates during late evenings. It provides a dance floor for guests to dance on. Special sound and lighting effect is created for an appropriate ambience. Drinks, especially beer and snacks are made available during the operations. The service is very informal. It is patronized mostly by the youth and couples. It is generally located in secluded places in hotels so as to avoid disturbance to other guests. The entry is limited to a certain number of guests according to the floor or room capacity. Sixth, lounge bar. In this concept of bar, the guests feel more comfortable than the other bars and where the drinks are usually more expensive. The lounge bar usually located on the lobby level of hotel. However, it is an area which meant for relaxing. Most of the lounge bars serve all kind of alcoholic beverages to the guest. In many establishments, lounges have their own bar, but the ones who do not have their bars, the drinks may be collected from the main bar and carried on a tray to the lounge and then being served. Seventh, portable bars. The portable bars are also termed as banquet bars, where they are designed for maximum flexibility and can be used in conjunction with beverage sales associated with guest activities, anywhere in the hotel or on its grounds. This may be extended in resort areas to include recreational areas. Many outsourced companies and bars started the venture of bar catering as well as where they provide the various bar setups, designs, beverage service in weddings, receptions, house parties, corporate events, etc. The hotels usually use this temporary type of bar setup in the banquet where they serve various types of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages during the event. 8th, service bar. This kind of bar, also termed as dispense bar, usually designed to help other outlets of F&B service department. The outlets who do not have their personal bars can collect their beverage orders from dispense bar. It may serve one or more food service areas and room service, and it is designed specifically for efficiency and economy of service. This bar also serves alcoholic beverages to the guests who dine in the restaurant. In most cases, speed is considered the essential ingredient in service bars. Service bars typically are centrally located in the back of the house out of the guest view. 9th, mini bar. It is a new facility popular in many hotels in which individual rooms often have a mini bar, a small refrigerator, a cabinet stocked with a modest inventory of snacks and drinks, ostensibly for the convenience of hotel guests. 10th, cigar bar. One more addition in the bar and beverage industry, the cigar bar offers extensive cigar selections as well as single malt scotches. Small batch bourbons, cognacs, and ports are filling an interesting upscale niche. This kind of bars target the niche market and helps in generating more revenue to outlets. The customers visiting these bars to enjoy high priced cigars also have the opportunity to order premium spirits, wines, beers, and after dinner drinks to accompany them. 11th, hookah bar. At the end of 2008, there were 470 hookah bars listed on the website called hookahbars.com in the United States, and an average of 5 open every month. Most hookah bar enthusiasts are in the under 30 crowd and have welcomed the trendy water pipe smoking as the new hip thing to do. However, with most states banning cigarette smoking in degree small and large in public places, cigar and hookah bars may not be long-lasting establishments. This brings up a controversial issue in the bars and restaurant industry today, whether or not to allow smoking. In many cities and states, allowing bar customers smoking indoor is no longer the prerogative of the business owner. Now, we are going to discuss the variety of laws governing and affecting bar and beverage operations. The alcohol industry is perhaps the most regulated industry in the world. The tremendous number and variety of laws within India, in addition to central excise laws, each state do have their own laws to enact rules and regulation to control bar and beverage operations. Anyone dispensing alcoholic beverages to the public must be aware of and responsive to all applicable laws. The failure to comply these legal laws leads to fines, penalties, and even criminal indictments. Furthermore, it spoils the reputation of the organization and leads to harm in business too. Our judicial system may also differ from state to state. In India, the first brewery was licensed in 1862 by then British government and introduced taxes on sale and manufacturing of alcohol. Our law covers three basic areas, that is sales of alcoholic beverages to the public, internal operations of bar, and third, relationship between retailer and wholesaler. All states have some type of regulation or law that requires a license or permit to sell alcoholic beverages. There is often little difference between a license and a permit. The effect of both is to allow the selling or dispensing an alcoholic beverage to the public. A license gives the right, while permit is an allowance to act in a certain manner. An organization who meets the required standards may be issued license or permit to operate bar and can serve alcoholic beverages to the public, and that license or permit should be displayed at the appropriate position in the bar so that the general public visiting such places can see and ensure its legality. These licenses and permits are issued for the period of 1 year and must be renewed annually. The following alcoholic beverages are served in licensed premises. Now we will discuss about different alcoholic beverages. The alcoholic are known to a recorded history. Alcoholic beverages were also an important element of public and private functions such as religious events, birth ceremony and wedding parties, and even on burials. Wines and beers were consumed regularly in the daily life. They were considered to be much safer to drink than water as being highly palatable, relaxing and intoxicating. A potable liquid containing ethyl alcohol or ethanol of 0.5% or more by volume is known as alcoholic beverage. The word alcohol comes from the Arabic word alcohol. Pure alcohol is colorless, clear liquid with burning taste. It derives its color from the wooden cask in which it is matured, and sometimes caramel is added to give darker color. The first fermented product was probably a brew, and its reference is found in Assyrian cuneiform records over 7,000 years old. Historians have called beer the ancient national drink of Egypt. The Egyptians called it hek. Beer was a drink of common man and wine was preferred by wealthy people, being more costly. Now, I will talk about classification of alcoholic beverages. Alcoholic beverages can be classified as distilled spirits, wines, or malt beverages. Distilled spirits are further divided into spirits and liqueurs. Distilled spirits are liquors obtained from the process of distillation. Distilled spirits includes whiskey, rum, brandy, gin, vodka, ethyl alcohol and others used for human consumption. Distilled spirits do not include fortified wines like sherry or desert wines. Wines. Wine is the fermented juice of fruits, usually grapes. Wines prepared from other fruits must be labeled with the type of fruit used for production of wine. For example, wine prepared from apple is known as cider and from pears is termed as perry. Wine can also be made from the residue of grapes, pressings, fruits or other agriculture product mixed with water. Now I will discuss about malt beverages. Malt beverages is the one made with some barley, malt and hops. It may or may not contain other malted or unmalted cereal products or other carbohydrates or products made from them. Malt beverages are named according to the ingredients and method of brewing used in the production. They may be labeled as beer, lager, lager beer, porter or stout. In legal terms, the Punjab Excise Tax Act 1914 defines liquor, country liquor and imported foreign liquor under Punjab Excise Liquor Definition Act 1954. The following shall be deemed to be liquor for the purpose of Punjab Excise Act, the one of 1914, that is a methyl alcohol, and spirituous preparations, namely spirit anise, spirit auranti, compo, spirit cinnamon, spirit rosé, spirit aethresis, tincture auranti, tincture cinnamon, tincture levandula, tincture gulancha, aqua anise concentrate, tincture crameria, tincture card company, tincture myra, tincture curcuma, tincture or stilla. The following shall, for the purpose of the Punjab Excise Act, that is Punjab Act 1 of 1914, deemed to be country liquor and foreign liquor respectively. Country liquor means all liquor other than rectified spirit, denatured spirit, and perfumed liquor not included in the definition of foreign liquor, normally manufactured from neutral spirit and demineralized water with added spices and essences which do not imitate any imported liquors or cordials and sold at prescribed strength at country liquor shops, also including substances commonly called Laban and also described as Punjab medium liquor. Now, foreign liquor. Foreign liquor means all liquors other than country liquor, rectified spirit, denatured spirit, and perfumed liquor imported into India from other countries by sea or air in original bottled form and also termed as imported foreign liquor. All beers, porters, and stout, including cider, imported into India from other countries by sea or air in bottled form. All wines and sweets prepared from grapes or other fruits by a process of fermentation only, with or without the addition of alcohol or any other ingredients, imported into India from other countries by sea or air in bottled form. All liquors manufactured in India other than country liquor, rectified spirit, denatured spirit, and perfumed liquor made in limitation of imported foreign liquor with or without any blend of such liquors or direct import of such liquor in bulk form and also in which excise duty at a rate higher than that levied on liquors falling under the definition of country liquor is leviable. All beers, porters, and stout, including cider, manufactured in India. All wines and sweets prepared from grapes or other fruits by a process of fermentation only, with or without the addition of alcohol or any other ingredients manufactured in India. Third, imported foreign liquor. Bottled in origin means foreign liquor imported from abroad on which custom duty is level under any law for the time being and force. Now we'll discuss about liquor licensing procedure. In India, there is no national policy on alcohol as it is a state subject. Each state is free to develop their own policy regarding issuing of liquor licensing. Here we are taking in consideration the liquor policy being framed by Delhi government under Delhi Liquor Licensing Rules 1976 and Punjab Excise Act 1914 as applicable to the state. Now, I will tell you about liquor licenses, how they have been issued. Liquor licenses are issued under two categories. The one is off premises, second is on premises. Now, firstly, I will discuss about off premises. Off premises or off-site permits are the licenses to sell alcoholic beverages outside the licensed premises for the consumption of alcoholic beverages for the individuals such as wholesalers, liquor stores, duty-free shops, etc. It requires licenses such as L1, L2 and L6. L1 has to be obtained by the manufacturer for selling liquor in particular state. L2 is issued to retailer to sell IMFL or beer in the state. DSIDC and DTDC acts as retailer on behalf of Delhi government. L6 is to be obtained to sell IMFL beer in duty-free shops. Now, I will discuss on premises. On premises or on-site permits to sell alcoholic beverages at licensed premises such as bars and restaurants, room service, beer bar. The licenses required are L3, L4, L5, L5A, L19, L19A, L20, L49A. L3, it is required to serve alcoholic drinks in rooms to resident guests in hotels. Drinks can be served round the clock. L5, required to serve IMFL beers in bars of a hotel to serve to general public who comes to enjoy alcoholic drinks in hotels. L4, permits to sell alcoholic beverages to stand-alone bars and restaurants. They serve IMFL, beer and foreign liquor. L5A obtained to serve foreign liquor or beers on luxury trains such as Palace on Wheel. L19 clubs are required to obtain this license to serve alcoholic drinks to their members such as Gymkhana Club, Golf Club, etc. L19A. It permits to sell alcoholic drinks to government servants in mess such as army clubs, messes of armed forces and DSOI. L53. Departmental stores or malls to obtain to sell beers and mixed alcoholic beverages in their retail vends. L20. It is to be obtained by the host to serve liquor in their private functions at hotels, clubs or restaurants. It is issued in the name of host on paying a requisite fee of Rs 5,000, but the premises should be having license such as L3, L4, L5, L19 or L19A. L49A. It is also obtained by the host to serve alcoholic drinks in private functions such as marriage, but at any location need not to be licensed place but having restriction that alcoholic drinks will be served to people more than 25 years of an age. L18. It permits the extension of hours of operation for an L3, L5 or L4 license holders. Now, I am going to summarize this module. This module gives an insight on definition of alcohol and various types of alcoholic beverages. It also explains various types of bars serving alcoholic beverages to the customers. It further discussed various types of liquor licenses issued by the Excise Department. Thanking you and have a nice day.